So welcome back, and we've gone all through a bunch of chords at this point, and now we've been focusing on the last couple of weeks on the D and the D7, and I hope you're getting that smooth progress from the D to the D7. Let's take a look at the next thing we want to do, and the next thing we want to do is we want to move from the D to the A7, okay? And this is a fairly simple process because we're going from the D, and again, looking for the guide finger, we're going to use the third finger, which is currently playing the note D, right, in the D chord. And we're going to just slide that note down one fret, okay? And then we're going to take the second finger and drop that in on the fourth string, okay? Which is actually the note E. So we're playing an E, and we're playing a C sharp. And once again, we've got a major sixth that's building this chord, okay? And then all the other strings are open, okay? And that's an A7. So we go from a D to an A7. D, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4. Now what that gives us is actually our second 1, 4, 5 grouping, okay? And remember, 1, 4, 5 are the key chords to almost any song that's ever been written. And what was our first grouping? Remember, we did G, we did C, and we did D. So G being the 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, G, A, B, C, C is the 4, and D is the 5. So G, C, D, G. Now the 1, 4, 5, as I said, very important in popular music, and in the blues, by playing 1, 4, and 5, you basically have played all of the notes and all of the chords you need for the blues. So now we're going to D, and since we're going to D to A7, keeping in mind we already know how to play G, right? So now we've got D, D, what comes after D? E, F, G. G is the 4, so D is the 1, G is the 4, and A7 becomes the 5, okay? So anything you can do in G, C, D, you can do the same thing in the key of D using D, G, A, D. It'll just be sung either higher or lower depending on which direction you go, right? Here's a cool old tune that you can do to kind of practice that and keep it in style with that. And what we're going to do here is we're going to cheat a little bit, and we're going to play the G, right? But we're not going to play the full G. We're just going to play this first top string, and that's actually a G note, and playing just the 4 strings, okay? So use the thumb on the 4th string, the first finger on the 3rd string, second finger on the 2nd string, and 3rd finger on the 1st string, and just play those and pluck those strings all together, okay? And this is actually going to be, actually, if you have a ukulele, the ukulele is basically those 4 strings, but a different key, but the same. Anything you do on these 4 strings on a guitar, you can do on the ukulele. So guess what? You're getting a 2 for 1 here because you're getting ukulele lessons as well as guitar lessons. Just take the top 4 strings, and that's a ukulele, okay? So here we're going to go D, and then we're going to play the G chord, but a very condensed version of the G chord by just taking the 3rd finger and putting that there. Now again, only playing the 4 top strings, we're going to get a D and a G, okay, and there's the D, and then we're going to go to the A7, and again, just playing those 4 strings, okay? And here's a little song we can do D with that technique. 2, G, 2, D, 2, A7, 2, and then we're going to just keep that very steady, and then we can sing this song. If you knew Peggy Sue, then you'd know why I love you. Oh, Peggy, Peggy Sue. Oh. Now we go to the new chord, the A7, and then the G, Peggy Sue. Okay, so that keeps you all in those 4 strings with that 1, 4, 5, the D, the G, the A7, and the D. And it's a cool little thing you can do, and you can speed that up. If you speed it up, just keep doing the same thing. You'll get it up to tempo just like Buddy Holly did. Okay, and so here's another song you can do. Just keeping and playing that thumb. Some bright morning when this life is over, I'll fly away. And notice that we're just keeping that same bass note and the same chord, but and the same strings, but just changing the chord. Burn at home on God's celestial shore. Oh, now we go to the new chord, fly away. Now when you go to the A7, you can bring the thumb to the 5th string to get a different bass note, okay? If you want, or you can keep the same bass note. Okay, so there's an option you've got there. Then you're going to start to get those fingers involved in playing individual strings. And if you get the fingers involved in the individual strings, the next thing you know, you're starting to do some finger style and some finger picking, and doors will really open up for you. So again, keep playing. Work that D to A7, get yourself a new 1-4-5 grouping, and go out on the internet and see any other songs that you really enjoy playing, and you're probably going to be able to play them. If you have any comments or questions, if there's any songs you'd like to know about or hear about, or how would I play them, if there's any chords that come up, I know we're going in a sequential pattern here, in a pathway, but if there are some chords that are getting in your way, feel free to throw in the comments down below, and we'll take a look and we'll investigate. Until the next time, enjoy your playing.